All right, good morning. Although, what time is it? It's 11, so it's almost afternoon for me. I had some requests. So of course, I posted on the deal here. Where was it? Said I'd be doing a video tomorrow. Well, I said this last night, and said if you have any tokens you're wanting some analysis on or Nansen updates, feel free to DM me. And I had 3 or 4 people that did DM me, so I'm going to go over those tokens, and I'll go over a few other ones. I was kind of just thinking about, they say time travel's not real, but if you think about it, it kind of is. When you go to sleep at night, you are basically, if you can sleep anyway, you're basically transported 8 hours into the future, 6 to 8 hours. Just a funny thought. Let me go into this fast, and then I just want to talk about the macro first, and then we'll go into the rest of it. I like these query charts that Nansen Alpha does for us, and Stablecoin Accumulation currently, this is for smart money. So their risk appetite is about 5. I don't know how that works exactly, but it's basically saying that they have about, on average, 5% stables in their portfolios. So, you're going to have some people that are risk off, some smart money that have maybe half their portfolio might be in stables, but then you might have some that are completely risk on still because they feel like it's just, mid-cycle and they want to keep holding until the end of the market's done or close to it. And again, the pink line at the bottom is the euphoria threshold. The green line is panic threshold. So the way you would play this is anytime it's into the panic, you want to be buying as much as you possibly can. And then anytime it's into the euphoria, you want to think about taking profits and keeping them to the side. And that's one of the reasons we got out or started talking about taking profits right around mid-March, because it had crossed down below this line at that point. And it can stay below the line for a while. And there is one more I want to show you. I really like this one. And I can't say that I completely understand it. Basically, it's a call, of course, is somebody wanting to buy, and a put is somebody wanting to sell or short the market. And so this is the call put spread. And let's see, it's implied volume 91 day. I don't know what that means exactly. Let's see, 91 days plus maturity. So I don't know if that's somebody that's held for at least 91 days, 40% out of the money. Anyway, the way to read this is, and I went back and checked it and compared it to the Bitcoin chart as these events happened. And it's kind of the same idea where this is your exit threshold, this pink line, and then this green line up here is your entry threshold. So anytime it gets above the green line or is kind of hovering near it, you want to be buying, and anytime it touches the line, you want to be selling. And that's just in general. I mean, the market's not always going to act exactly like that. But if you were swing trading, then this would be a good way to swing trade. And what we're looking at currently is right here. It did touch the pink line. This was March 11th. I mean, look how that was perfect, because March 15th was the actual top for Bitcoin. And we're slowly creeping up to the entry threshold. So basically you're out right here like we were. I mean, we weren't out completely, but we did keep some profits on the side, and we were able to get some nice value out of these altcoins that dipped, and some continue to dip, and that's fine. I mean, that's what happens during mid-cycle. And then if you think about the mentality, if you just had all the money in the world and you were trying to get more of that money, extract more money from people that weren't very good traders, that didn't really understand how the market worked, then you would want them to be fearful when you wanted to buy, and you would want them to be greedy when you wanted to sell, exit liquidity, basically. So what we're looking at here, I mean, if this was to drop back down to this pink line, then obviously we wouldn't do anything. Maybe we'd still be accumulating some altcoins, but we wouldn't really be expecting for the market to go up. However, if the market has one more quick dip and then it's ready to go up, then you'll see this get into the green here, or maybe it'll just barely touch it. I don't know. one thing I didn't really think to look at is when this is wider. Let's see here. Hang on one second. Yeah, so September, October. This was the area that the bull market really started right at the end of 2023. So I think when you see a lot of volatility like this, that's a good time to get in. When it's a tighter range like this, let's see, it was pretty tight back here. It was tight here. Yeah, it's hard to say exactly what these tighter ranges mean. Could just mean sideways action for the most part. You really want volatility, so you can, I mean, volatility can be up or down, of course, but obviously we want to see volatility up. What else do we have? I don't really know what this one is. BTC price momentum time series OOS. Average price momentum is just price action. And a threshold for short, very short. Okay, so this one, if this was to drop back down to the pink line, that means that it's another one of those, you know, you'd want to be entering. And then we're just barely above the long versus short, where it's basically just a good average to be buying in. I don't know that it'll drop back down here before the end of the bull market. I mean, it could, but if it did, you'd want to be buying if it hit there. And then I've talked about this one before. This was another reason that I knew it was time to take some profits, is this thing started curling down, and that's the 30-day moving average crossing back below the 360-day. And yeah, that's at about 50% retrace. Well, not a 50% retracement, but it's back to the 50% level of the timing on the bull market. So if you were saying, okay, if this is the halfway point, if I'm considering this is the mid-cycle point, then this thing should be turning back up pretty soon, I would imagine, because it's back to the 50% level. Maybe it'll do some kind of, you know, head and shoulders thing and then take off. Of course, back here, it was coming off of a high in May 2021, dipped one more time, and then November 2021, it finally had its crash. But if you look at this, it's really interesting to me. I just now noticed this. I mean, if you look at this, here's an inverted head and shoulder. Here's the shoulder. Here's the head. And here's the other, you know, inverted shoulder. So, I mean, you could also look at this like Adam and Eve pattern, where it's like that and then that. You could also look at it like one big cup with a handle. So to me, this is still bullish. I mean, overall, just any of these charts, they still look bullish to me. And then Bitcoin, you know, not a whole lot to say. It keeps rejecting at this, what was the original support line, which I guess I could probably move up to there now. Sometimes you have to adjust these. I'll look at that later. But my idea of the bottoming window between May 13th and 21st, we're within that window right now. It could dip all the way down to here. I mean, I'm not saying it can't. I'm just saying that once we exit this window, hopefully that will be the bottom. And it could stretch, you know, based on this, whatever you want to call it, this channel. It could even stretch into early June, maybe as much as mid-June. You know, sometimes summer is bullish, but it's kind of rare. In a presidential year, maybe it's not as rare. But yeah, I'm just going to keep watching this. Until it gets back above the support, there's really no reason to be bullish overall, you know, as far as macro, you know, short-term macro. That's all I'm talking about here. Long-term, I really do believe that we're still in a bull market. And who knows? I really don't know if it's going to stretch to late 2025 or what. We'll just have to see. Okay. Yeah. All right, so let me just go over a few that I'm keeping an eye on. BOSON, we know it's a very good project. It is on our spreadsheet. And if you're not, again, for those that haven't gotten access to the spreadsheets, all you have to do is click on research, go up to the pin messages, and then right here where Tatiana posted them, click on each one and request access, and she'll give you access to it. Gosh, there was something else I was going to say, and I can't remember what it was now. What was that? Well, anyway, maybe I'll think about it in a little bit. Yeah, so very strong project, you know, VCs backing it, all that. Oh, what I was going to say is, of course, I'm going to do the usual timestamp to where you can jump around to the tokens you actually want to look at. This could be a very long video, so if you want to jump around, that's fine. The other thing is, not financial advice. I'll always have to say that you're only going to be risking the money you're willing to lose. I mean, if you've got bills coming up, and don't rely on crypto, especially when things are dipping like this. Don't rely on crypto to make you a profit so that you can pay your bills. Always take care of your necessities first, and you only want to be using disposable income that has the chance of you losing it all, because you never want to put yourself in a position where you lose it all, and you need that money to pay for things, in your life. All right. Yeah, so we've got a bullish line right here that maybe we just do on BOSON. Maybe there's just a head and shoulders, and hopefully it doesn't lose that head and shoulder neckline. Hopefully it fakes out and goes up. So I would look for something like that. I would be real surprised if it came down here and lost this support, but it could come back down here and retest this. Hopefully this bullish line gets held though. It really depends on what Bitcoin does. AMMX, it's still holding right at this point of control for the volume profile. So, still looks like an okay hold, but this was a bearish divergence. Doesn't mean it's immediately going to go down, but anytime you have these bearish divergences, there is a chance of it where momentum's coming down while price goes up. Sometimes it just fakes out and takes off again, so I'm not too worried about that. Support line being tested here for space. Talked about it yesterday. I mean, it's just a good risk reward play at this point. It's down 96% or something. Money flows real thick in the red, and usually when it's at its thickest like this right here, that's the time to be thinking about an entry. Same thing with money flow to the upside. If it's real thick in the green, you want to be thinking about taking some profit. This one didn't offer as much of a warning to take profits on it there though. This one just hasn't gone up at all, really. It did have a little bit of a move here, but that was only like 3x or 4x. So I think there's still movement in this one. I don't think it's, this FUD that's going on, I don't think it's that big of a deal. PRQ, I did buy it 12 cents, and I talked about it before I bought it. In a video, I talked about how I'm okay if if it loses this support. And actually we can put another support line right in there. I'll just remove this one. But in this case, the reason why I was willing to take the risk that maybe it would hold there is I'm not so much worried about maybe a 50% decline or something, because here is what you make off of it. I mean, even just this TP2 move is a 25x, and I'd still make like a 3.5x once it got back up to TP1. So 50%, like say if you put $1,000 in and it went down to $500, you're like, well, I'm just going to hold on till it hits TP1 at minimum and then take some initials out if that's the way you want to play it. So you're still going to make your money, just got to be more patient. NIMBUS, people have been talking about this one. It's just still too early to know what it's going to do. If you really believe in the project and you want to hold it long term, there's nothing wrong with buying it here, obviously. So it's just up to you how you want to play that one. I'm not going to put any lines on it just yet, but if you were to look at the fibs based on this early price action, from this point, getting back up to the golden pocket, you'd be looking at, that's only 30%. Yeah, you'd have to get all the way up here to like a 2272 to have a 2x move. So I'm just going to let it play out. RSI is bearish because it's under the 50. A lot of people like this project, so I don't have any doubt that it could still do well. It's just, I would prefer to let price action proceed. And there is a good, one of our best wallets is in this one already. So, you can take that for what it's worth. Okay, so this is where we begin some of the requests, and FREN is one of them. And we found out about this one through Nansen. One of the employees was talking about it. Let's see. And I think I have this right as far as the price action, because I was looking at it. This should be the right chart. So currently, obviously, it's bearish. I mean, just looking at the 6-hour chart here using Engineering Robo AI. 3 hours pretty oversold. But the social intelligence score is a 5. If it was to hold here as support, these are your targets going back up. I would say there's going to be some resistance right here at 627. So you could put a line there, and there'd probably be some more right here at $8. And then one of your first, once it breaks the all-time high, one of your first targets will be about 12. And then what, 18, what would that give you? 3, 18, 6x. 10x would be about the 3618, which you could hit. I mean, I think it could happen for it. I didn't take the time to draw lines on these, but I can go through them for you. But you know, if you want to pause and just look at these fib areas, that's all you need. As far as smart money, let's just see if there's any smart money in this one that we know of anyway. If we take the smart money out and we just look at some of the higher balance, I just want to find a really high value wallet. Anything over 100K would work. There has been somebody accumulating a lot, actually. Oh, I thought it was the same wallet. Okay, those are different wallets. All right, those are a couple of the big money holders. This is a 77% win rate wallet, so you could trust them a little bit more than others. Here's some of the other tokens they're in. Looks like mostly degen. Here's all the win rate. I mean, they're only 27K total realized PnL, and there's only been 9 trades, so not really enough information here, I don't think. You know, there's not enough to say, well, you know, they're very successful. But, you know, this could just be a side wallet for base plays only, and that's probably the case. You know, they may have another wallet. Let's see. Yeah, I can't look at that wallet because I don't have any money in it. So, yeah, not a bad wallet there. Here's another one that's under 50% win rate, only 75 trades. I'd like to see at least, you know, 200-300 trades to feel like they use this often, but you know, base trades, people haven't really used them that much or haven't really played them that much at this point because it's new. So you've got brand new wallets that are being made just for these plays. But yeah, I mean, pretty successful regardless, even though it's lower PnL. But they have made 428K total PnL so far, so that's good. So another decent wallet there for base. Did I open any more? Thought I opened more than that, I guess not. Anyway, yeah, those are some decent wallets. And if we looked at smart money in general, just to see who's already purchased some, we do have one of our favorite wallets in there at 24K and another one at a very low 1500. There has been some buying lately. Yeah, so I mean, it looks pretty good. There's some high conviction. You got one here with 66K, that's pretty high. Actually, I should probably check their wallet. I'll just check these real quick. Yeah, so you're just seeing all these new wallets that trade base only. These are like side wallets. Of course, this one has a pretty low win rate and they've actually lost money. Probably not a good one to look at. And another low win rate here. So yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good wallet here though. It's over a 500K wallet. I actually haven't looked at the updated. I mean, they're not great win rate. They're under 50%, but they do have a high total realized PnL, meaning they get in early and they take profits. So for an early base player like this, it's probably not a very bad win rate, to be honest. Mostly I looked at that wallet for ETH. You know, I never really looked at them for base. All right, let's jump into intro. This is another request. I believe this is the one they were wanting to look at, one intro. And couldn't really find a better chart than this. I mean, it's a volume issue, I think, more than anything. Let me just look at one thing and see if I'll see if there's another market I can look at that's better. Yeah, that's probably going to be the best one there. But anyway, it's bearish currently, and targets, if you just want to pull, I mean, it's hard to know if you can pull off of this top wick, so I'll just pull off of that one. Yeah, so here at 0.4, and there could be some good upside with this one. I just, it's hard to say with the volume. I mean, here's some targets you can look at where these purple lines are. So going back up, you could, do a 5x or so at minimum, I would think, once the bull market gets going again. And then I couldn't really find much info as far as smart money on this. It just doesn't seem like any smart money is in this one, as long as this is the right one. And I mean, it does say one intro up here. I just don't know if it's the right. This one's showing up on base. So the person that requested this, I don't know if it's ETH or base or what. If people can provide me contract addresses, that's better in the future, if you can do it that way. ZEUS, this is an interesting one, and this is ZEUS Network, I believe. I played this one on MEXC using leverage a few times on a short because it was new and I felt like it could come down some. But clearly it's bearish, just based on the RSI here, it's under 50. Let's see. I feel like it probably will recover. I mean, it has a pretty good following, seems like. Let's see. I mean, you sometimes want to look at your order blocks more than the fibs, because those could be places that it can reject from, which could be around 80 cents maybe. I mean, there's probably going to be some resistance there. Usually you're going to see some at the golden pocket, retrace, maybe here at the 786. And then after it breaks all-time high, if it does, $1.41, I imagine it will. So here's $1.70 at the 1618. That would put you at, I don't know, a 5x or so. So I would think at minimum, midterm or so, it would hit that. At the height of the bull market, it should exceed that. But one way you could look at it is, put you a trend line somewhere here. I guess it's already broke through that one. But you could run your trend line here, and it hasn't broken through yet. I like that one better. You're just connecting the dots, basically. So once it breaks through that and finds a base of support, sometimes it has to base out for a little bit before it's ready to take off. Then it'll finally get above the 50 RSI and be ready to go. Yeah, money flow's kind of tapering up, but there's not enough information there just yet. All right, here is VENOM. Looks a lot like that other one just now. Looks like ZEUS a little bit. It's not very volatile. I mean, it's pretty low key as far as price action. AI intelligence scores at a 5. It's bearish. Well, 5 in a red, which is the highest. Let's just see what money flow looks like. Yeah, money flow is trying to taper, but same as the other one. I don't think there's enough information there yet. This is our free indicator we use sometimes. Not this orange line, something else. Hang on. It's this red area here. Yeah. And that's it's called the Phoenix, or it's called the RD. Either way, if you open up indicators and type that in, you'll find it. We've talked about it many times before. But anytime it's under this, it's basically underwater. You don't have to have engineering robo, or you can just use this free one. And it looks like this if it's just showing that. So you'd just be looking at this and you'd enter on a higher time frame usually. I don't think it'll show up on a daily just yet because it's too new of a token. So you usually have to go back to like a 6 hour or a 3 hour. But go to the highest time frame you can that shows this, and then when it turns green, enter. And, you know, if it goes back into the red, you could exit again, but as long as it's in the green, you're good. That one I couldn't find on Smart Money, by the way. Oh, did I talk? Here, let me just talk about targets here. I mean, you can pause, and those are your targets, basically. 1618 is at $1, so minimum 4x coming back up. And these are just real, you know, very realistic numbers that are more midterm targets. I think it will go higher than that. And if you want me to look at and you know, set up these charts for you with take profit areas, I can do that in the future once the market gets going again. So we do have an AI buy signal on the 6-hour chart for Fjord Foundry, which I really like this project. You know, it's kind of like a launch pad for other projects. And I believe it does have some VC backing or some angel investors or something like that. So who knows, this could be the bottom for it. We won't really know until it gets back above the 50 RSI though, because it can stay under the 50 for a while if it wants to. Yeah, money flows in the red. No clear sign there just yet. Could be curling up here. This yellow highlight, or the yellow thing that's curling up here is the VWAP. But it's not tapering up to green just yet. In fact, there's an AI sell on the 3-hour. So yeah, it could lose this support. I mean, you could just call that support right there for now. And if it loses that, just wait until it gets back above. And then your resistance areas going back up are going to be this 382 or close to it, because there is an order block right there. Yeah, something like that. Those purple lines is what I would be watching for. And then your 1618 on this one's about $4. So that's only about a 3 or 4x. I suspect it'll go much higher than that. It'll probably get into the double digits by the end of the market. Yeah, I like this one a lot actually, but I'm not in it yet. I'm just giving the market more time, you know, to get through this window and see what happens here near the full moon, you know, the end of this month. Here is Smart Money. We've got one token millionaire in it. We'll take a look at their wallet. And let's just see if there's any actual Smart Money that we follow. And none there. And here's the ones that have already bought. Yeah, so we've got a really high conviction there. We'll take a look at theirs. This one's pretty high conviction as well. We do have a couple of our favorite wallets in there, so that's good. Uh, 60% win rate with a 1.5 million realized PnL, 286 trades. That's exactly what you want to look for. So here's some of their trades. We can look and see where they got in at Fjord Foundry, you know, what price level. They actually got in pretty high at one point, and now they're buying in more. So if you see additional conviction from a high value wallet like this, it's a good sign that you could go ahead and take a position as well, you know, just based on their action. So this looks pretty good. I mean, I would put it on your list to watch, or if you want to go ahead and throw some in just as a starter entry, I think that would be fine here. Here's another one, 60%. Wait, was that the, yeah, sorry, that was the same one, wasn't it? Let's look at this other one. Yeah, here we go, 65% win rate, tons of trades, 2.3 million realized PnL. Here's some of the other trades they're in. FJO is actually their top conviction play in this wallet that they have, and they purchased at a higher valuation, so you're getting in cheaper than them. But they, you know, they didn't get out. They're just going to hold, it looks like, until the top of the market. So they're expecting higher prices. And this is a lower win rate, but they still have a high realized PnL and a lot of trades. And this is one of their top convictions as well. They bought higher, yeah. So, I mean, look at the discount you're getting from these people. I mean, this was late April. Yeah, this was late April. We already knew mid-March and into late March to keep some profits on the side. So if you did that, then now you can take advantage, and this is exactly how we do it, you know, taking advantage of getting things cheaper than what other people were able to get it, even though they're high conviction. Okay, this is audio. This is the next request. Let me just see what's going on with it first. Some of these I haven't really looked at. I did have this chart already done previously, but it's got more lines in it than I would usually put in it. It's one I did a long time ago. Yeah, so support's sitting right there at about 13 cents, and I think to get bullish again, it would need to get over 24 cents. But there's some of the targets for you. I mean, just to get back to all-time highs, that's 227. It's like a 10 to 15x or something. Currently, it is bearish on the 3-day chart. Let's just see what the daily looks like. Says smart money is out. Currently, social intelligence score is a 4 and it's in the red. It is bullish on 3-hour, 45-minute, but maybe it's just basing out here, and it's just gonna, because this is a left shoulder that it's testing. It could even come down to here one more time. It just depends on what the market does. So it could go as low as 7 or 8 cents, I believe. And then here's what we look at on, or what we're looking like on smart money. Let's see. Just see if any smart money has joined in the last 7 days, seeing it as a good value. Nothing with a very high conviction. Let's just see who, well, this is a bot. I'll take a look at that, but I usually don't like to look at those. There's not a whole lot of high conviction in this one over the last 7 days, so let's just see if any smart money purchased a large amount overall. Yeah, Pantera Capital likes it a lot. I mean, they're not known for losing money. They're one of the better funds. But yeah, these are your, I mean, there's just not many and I think the reason for this, why you're not seeing many smart money with high conviction in it, and mostly it's funds, is because these higher market cap plays, people are looking for things that are lower market cap for the most part. But still, I mean, it's a good project. I guess it's 185 million, which really isn't much at all. I'm surprised that more smart money aren't jumping on this. Could be because it was deployed in October 2020. People are looking for newer tokens. But yeah, this is definitely a bot. This is bot activity where they jump in and out of projects. You're going to see like thousands of trades, maybe tens of thousands of trades, where they just jump in and out all the time. Seems like a high cap wallet. I'm really interested to see though what the PnL and what the lifetime gained profit is on this one. It's taking it forever to load though. Must be a ton of trades. Nansen's done such a good job on upgrading and listening to users. And if you're interested in this, I do have down in the description, I'm going to put that code for Nansen if you want 10% off. But you do have to pay for the full year to get that 10% off. And it does have to be a new account or one that's never purchased a subscription to be able to take advantage of it. We'll let that load. I'll try to remember to come back to that. I mean, with these bot accounts, there's just so many trades that they do. All right, here's TON. It is in the green money flow, so this one is currently bullish. Yeah, you got an AI social intelligence score of 3, and it's in the green, which is actually pretty weak for a green score, but smart money is in. It's mostly bullish. It could be putting in a double top here, so you got to be careful. How much did this go up? So just from here, it went up 2.6. So the total is about a 5x. And usually when you hit a 5x, it does, tokens do tend to take a small rest and then they go up another 5x or, maybe another 10x from there. For me, I would be a buyer back down here, something like that. or maybe just in this range between these two purple lines. And then if it lost these lines, I would be out until, you know, it found some more support down here somewhere. Yeah, that hit the 1618 exactly. I know that's probably hard to see. Let me see if I can change this color. Something easier to see. So yeah, it tagged that 1618 exactly. This was like took a while to play out, but it was an inverted head and shoulders that broke out. So I would suspect if this was to retrace, it could even come down as low as like $3 here, maybe even a little bit lower than that. But I mean, if you really wanted the project, you could buy it when it came down to this 0.25 line too. And then some higher targets, the 2618 would be $25. So yeah, there's at least another 5 to 10x in this thing, maybe much more by the end of the bull market. It's looking pretty good though, especially for being, you know, while Bitcoin is down, it's very strong. Let me jump back to this. Okay, so it did load it. It's about 50% win rate, $16 million worth of total realized PnL lifetime, 162,000 trades. I mean, you know that's a bot when you see something like that. I don't follow wallets like this, but I think it is interesting just to see how well they did on some things. Looks like it entered Pepe, and it made the bulk of its PnL off of that one. Is that right? Cost basis. I don't know why it's saying cost basis 267 million. That can't be right. Or where they bought it. Oh, this is where they bought it. Okay, yeah. It's saying they made 20 million just off of paper. That's crazy. I don't know. Maybe it's right. All right, so getting back to TON, it is a high market cap project, so you're really not going to see too many of our smart money into it because they like to get into low cap things that can move quicker. I mean, there are some very high value smart money wallets in this though, and it is trending up nicely. So you know, if you would have caught this early that on Nansen, the amount of wallets was increasing steadily, then you could have made some decent money, at least a 5x. But these higher market caps, they take a while to move. So here's a couple of the wallets that are in it. 88% win rate, that's really good. Of course, they're playing a lot of high market caps, so the win rate's going to be higher usually if they're making good entries. But very high conviction. Let's just see what their best trade was. Average ROI per trade is 19%. They turned 488K to 730 or 53K on ETH. So mostly it was on ETH, looks like. That's interesting. And then here's another high value, highly profitable wallet. The win rate's not great, but it just goes to show you you can still make a lot of money if you're around a 40% win rate. I mean, it's almost 380K. And their top trade was Uni. Of course, this is probably an older wallet, so they could have done that last cycle. I don't know, but you know, it looks like they're doing pretty well. They were down here late 2023. The value of their wallet was like, you know, 300K or so, and they built it up. They're like 3x, 4x their original investment for this cycle. And if you play high market caps, that's, you know, it's a little bit safer, but your returns aren't going to be as great. Did I go through? Okay. Yeah, I think I talked about that. Okay, so here's POWR. Here's another request. Clearly bearish currently, just looking at well, the 3-day anyway. Let's see what the daily shows. Yeah, smart money's out. It's bearish on the daily as well. And if we were to go back, we'll just look at the weekly here. And we'll be conservative. I won't use this wick here. Maybe I'll just use this one. So it did come down and it tagged the, I would say, yeah, it tagged the golden pocket there. I would say this is your support line that it should hold. And then going back up, you're going to see some resistance there. Maybe here. And then there's your 1618. So that gives you like a 3x. And then the 2618 is going to give you like a 5x or so. And then from that point, we can see what the other take profit areas are. But these are the lines that I would look for. And then as far as smart money goes, let's just see if any bought recently that we know of. No. That is a bot, so I'm not really going to look at that one. We'll take a look at that. Well, actually, I will look at that. I'm curious. Yeah, not many smart money in this one at all. Yeah, 21,000 trades, and they've actually lost money, so we don't want to look at that one. Okay, this one's made 1.5 million overall. That's good. Looks like a mix of high cap and low cap, maybe. Lately, they've been going down in value. They were at 1.1 million, so it looks like they didn't take any profits at all before this dip. When did they buy this, though? POWR. It's a pretty low conviction play for them, I guess. Yeah, there it is right there. It's only $2,700. They must have bought way back there. Yeah, they bought way back here. And that was still in 2021. So, yeah, it's almost like a dino coin for them. They're just hanging on to it. Not to say it won't do well, but there's just not enough information there to be able to tell any good smart money wallets that are in yet. Here's Virtue Poker, which I'm pretty high on, and T-Insight's high on it as well. Could come down to our support. There could even be, a little bit, I guess you could even put it down here. I think I'll leave it here though, because this is more like a spring, I believe. I doubt it gets under this line at 0032. Hopefully it doesn't get into this one as well, but I'm going to be buying some soon, I believe. There's a lot of support here. Yeah, I would actually like that pattern if it, as long as it stays above this support, I'm good with it. And then here's your TPs. We've got this one listed in our group that you can look at the take profit areas at any time. But that's some big profits going back up if it was to make it to TP4. Let's just say it stops here. That's 7x going back up, and then 15, then 28. I doubt it makes it to 220x, but if it gets back to the top, or even if it gets back to here, that's still pretty good, 7x or so. And then smart money, let's just see. Got a couple buying lately, but nothing high conviction. Here's some high conviction. One of them is Pantera Capital, Digital Finance Group. So some really good VCs in it. We'll look at a couple of these. And then I also want to go back. Just see here. We'll look at that high balance wallet. 40% win rate. They lost money though, so we're not going to look at that one. Here's 200,000 lost. We're not interested in that. Okay, here we go. So PnL 2.5 million, win rate of over 50%. That's good. Looks like, yeah, they're mostly low caps, things like that. They've done a pretty good job of managing their, I wonder if they made all this back in the last cycle though. They might have. Let's just see what it was that they made the most money on. So if they made profit off of ETH like that other one did, this is 26th of February and 14th of May. I bet you anything that was, well, you know, it could have been this cycle, I guess, since it was only 50% profit. Okay, so here's here's one they made 1 million profit. Can't even see where they sold it though. Yeah, they must have made all their money last cycle. Yeah, look at that, back in 2021. Okay, so that makes sense. But anyway, yeah, we know they're pretty good traders, so I think just taking this into account, it could be a good play, you know, from smart money perspective. I thought some of our wallets were in it, but maybe they got out, you know, before the dip happened. This is a big losing wallet. I'm not even interested in this one. It's got less than 30% win rate. But yeah, I really like VPP just from the GambleFi side of things. You know, there's going to be some, if you're first to market on stuff like that, and I've watched videos from the guy that created VPP, Virtue Poker. I don't really know how they're going to make money, but I do know that it's gated. It's basically you can create online tables to play with your friends, you know, play poker, and you have to pay like an entry fee of ETH or some other token just to be able to enter the game. But there's a lot of issues with, you know, certain states don't want people to be making money off of gambling and stuff like that. And there's certain countries that don't want it. So there's a lot of hurdles there is the only issue. Let's look at SNSY. Yeah, I mean, this is actually a bullish pattern once it's done with. I mean, you can even see this starting to roll up on the momentum on the RSI. I'm not worried about SNSY, it'll recover. I did enter, I think I entered somewhere in here thinking it was going to hold this line. It didn't. I mean, look how this was even tapering up on the red money flow, so it was kind of a fake out. So I'm just going to hold on to what I got. I think it'll base here fairly soon and start making its way up. It's definitely oversold. Bearish currently. There's your targets. All the way to TP4 would be 8 cents. I'm not saying that these targets are going to hit, but 10x, 15x, 40x, definitely a possibility that it could. I really like the project in general. You know, we've talked about it in the group before in the Discord. And if you want to join our Discord, that's in the description below as well. But we've talked before how SNSY has a real world, like sci-fi type thing that's easy to explain to a friend. Like if you're just sitting across from a friend and you said, hey, you know, here's what this company does. They're going to be making it to where you or your loved ones are basically immortal. AI will be able to talk to people based on your personality or your loved one's personality even after they're gone. So really interesting project. And I think it's a real world use case. And there's not many of those. So we don't have any of our smart money that have joined in over the last 7 days, but we can look at a couple of these that are high conviction. And then we can also look at the overall. Yeah, there we go. So we've got 2 of our wallets and one of them is really high conviction. We'll look at those as well. Okay, this is a negative wallet. It's not one we follow, but it was one that I pulled up, so we're not going to look at that one. Another negative wallet. What is this one? That's another negative wallet. Okay, so here's the ones that we follow. This one's got 16, almost 17 million realized PnL lifetime and about 50% win ratio. So not too bad as far as the win rate. They have a lot of low mid caps. They made a ton off the XOR. Where did they buy? Is it going to show SNSY on here? Yeah, somewhere. I mean, you may notice if you followed me on Twitter or if you're in the group, you may notice that this person has bought some of the ones we bought in the past as well, like Sturdy. I think some people were in OLM, Mazzy, BVM. So smart money does work, is my point there. You know, it helps you to filter out and find the things that other people are getting into. Here's SNSY, and let's just see where they bought it. Yeah, they bought it even higher than we did. It doesn't show the price, but they bought it somewhere around 0.005, and I think we were buying it maybe right in here. So we got a 50% discount anyway. And then this other wallet has almost 1 million or 800K realized PnL, 62% win rate. We only find the best wallets. We only want to follow the best wallets to find the best plays, or to get in those plays early, like Desync, we got in early. Topio's been seeing some action lately too, but it's a higher market cap. And then don't forget, what am I thinking of? OPSEC. It's been seeing a lot of action as well during this dip. So you want to think of the ones that are the most active. You know, people buying a lot of it while the market's down. Okay, so we got 2 more here. BVM is the next one. It is bearish. It is oversold as well, though. It's down here at a support level. Money flow is really thick in the red, so it could find support here soon, but it wouldn't surprise me either if it kept dipping under the support a little bit further. You know, it could even come down to here. And then coming back up, you've got your take profits there if you want to pause and look at those. I don't know that it would get up to TP3. Yeah, it could. That's a 25x. Yeah, so BVM looks pretty good too. And let's just see what... yeah, volume's real low. Usually that's a good time to buy. One of our smart money got into it last 24 hours, but just one note on this wallet that I follow, it is a bot, so it jumps in and out a lot. Here's a really high conviction wallet. Actually, a couple of them. Yeah, we've got a lot of our favorite wallets in it, and they're some of the very top ones. So good project. A little bit of you know, trend up here ever since the 10th of April. It's starting to trend up. It's kind of going sideways as far as new wallets joining. We'll just look at a couple of these and see where they bought it. This isn't one of the wallets we follow. This is just one that I brought up, and it has a negative balance, so this is a pretty small wallet here. Maybe I won't look at this one. Okay, here's some of ours. So 300K realized PnL, 50% win rate. They bought right here. Yeah, they bought it low, but it's back to that same level. So this is another good way to look at it. You know, if they had high conviction here, then you could have high conviction here as well. And they would tell you it's not financial advice either, but you know, maybe they'll be right, maybe we'll be right. Here's that wallet that we've looked at before that's really high PnL. And BVM is what I'm looking for. Here it is. So they've got 40K in this one, 40K value. And they bought it actually higher than where it is currently. So if you believe in this project and it speaks to you, you know, your intuition feels good about it, then jumping in on a 50% or 70% or 90% discount from the top. Which right now it's near 70%. And that's fine. I mean, if you're wanting to hold it till the end of the market, then there's nothing wrong with that at all. If you want to go ahead and buy some. I don't hold this one, by the way, but I might, I may look into it. There's just so many, don't spread yourself too thin. What you really want to do is have higher conviction on the plays that you really believe in. So try to keep under 20 tokens if you can, at least for your long-term trades that you're holding till the end of the market. And then we'll look here at, what is this one? I think it's Casper. Yeah, this one doesn't look too bad. I mean, assuming that it heads back up, your support area is maybe right here. But then what happens if it loses this support area? It's almost the flip side of, if you were to break above the all-time high, you'd say, well, it's in price discovery. Well, you don't want to see it in price discovery coming down for sure. Yeah, anyway, there's your support line, and then coming back up, there's some resistance there. Maybe here, and then definitely here at the golden pocket. And then the 1618, if it was to make it to it, that would be a really big gain, but I really don't know if it can do that. Yeah, it could. I mean, some could do 160x. It's just hard to believe that it could. I mean, I would stick to your first target here of about a 5x to the 18-19 cent area, and then if it gets above that, then start looking at the higher targets. This would be your first target, 1272. So this would be more like a 100x or something. No, 50x. More reasonable, especially at the mid-cycle. There's not as much time unless we extend to the end of the market or the end of the year next year. And nobody really knows what's going to happen with that. But these never take off right away. I mean, you may dip down a little bit more, and then it does this and goes sideways a little bit longer, then does this. So the longer the market stretches out, the better, because it would give it more time to do something like this. So really, you should be rooting for that. We'll just see what happens with it. Okay, I think that's about it. This was a pretty long one, so hopefully you enjoyed it. Definitely leave a like and comment below. If you found any of this useful, let me know what you liked or you didn't like, or if there's something else you want to look at. It takes a while to go through these and to prepare this, so I can't do it all the time because it is very time consuming, but I will try to do these as often as I can. It's just not a lot to say about the market right now. We have to wait until Bitcoin gets bullish again, gets above the support line at minimum. And we really want to see it above this bullish line and, break this all-time high again. But I do think we are in a macro bull market. This is a presidential year, so it's going to be volatile. But you can just imagine from more of a, political perspective, that at some point they're going to want it to look good. They're going to want the markets to look good again. So maybe that's around election time. Maybe it's a little bit after election time. So hopefully inflation and all that gets better. We'll just have to see how it all works out. Okay, well, y'all have a good week, and I don't know if I'll get another video in this week, but if I don't, we'll see you next week.